Hey, what's going on, you guys? What's up? My name's Barbarian, and welcome to another story time with Barbie. Now, today, I just want to talk to you guys about something that I think I've gotten more questions about than anything before, and that is college. A lot of you really love my back-to-school videos, which, by the way, are coming next week, but I decided to do another video talking about my experience with college, or lack thereof, and kind of answer some questions that you guys might have had on about me, my channel, things like that, my life, anything and everything under the sun. So, I guess the first thing to talk about is, my lack of college experience and the fact that I actually was accepted to 4 different colleges this year. I don't know if they're really known across the country. They're more local colleges. It's Assumption. There's one in New York called Hofstra. There's a couple other ones down in, like Framingham, Massachusetts, and different areas around there, Central Mass, that type of thing. So they're more New England type schools, and I'm not really sure if anyone's really heard of them or not. But basically, when I was accepted, I made the decision that I would essentially defer or push back my acceptance 1 year. So what that basically means is I send a letter to the college saying, hey, listen, I thanks so much for accepting me. I really love it. But how about we do this next year? And what that means is I keep all of my scholarships, all my acceptance, all my financial aid, all that stuff. It just gets pushed until fall of 2015. Now, the reason I did that is because YouTube's been doing fantastic for me, obviously. You guys have been showing great support and everything. And I wanted to see how far this would go. And I wanted to do this full time, at least have that experience of traveling, living with people, doing fun things and things like that. So it was really kind of a decision that I made where I said, I'm willing to sacrifice the first year of college with all my friends to have this experience. Because the way I think of it is, college will always be there. And it is true. College will always be there for me. And I will always be able to have that experience of going to college, living in a dorm, that type of lifestyle. But I may not always be able to do the YouTube lifestyle, where I can literally do what I love as a job. And I get to travel and meet all of you guys. And it's something that I really wasn't comfortable doing when I was going to be in college. For one thing, recording in a dorm room absolutely sucks. I can't think of anyone who's actually successfully done it. I don't know what Giant Waffle does. I know he's in school. I think he might live off campus, I'm assuming. But anyway, it was going to be a very tense situation for me, at least in my opinion, to record in a dorm room with someone who I just met. The other thing was, I didn't want to split my time between YouTube and college so that nothing got done. Basically, what that means is I didn't want to be so dedicated to college that I essentially let my YouTube channel rot and die, but at the same time, I didn't want to be so dedicated to my YouTube channel that I let college get the, put in the back seat, and I ended up suffering grade-wise. So what I decided was, with my parents, I talked it over and I said, listen, this is an option. Why don't we actually talked to a couple financial planners and, smarter people than I am. And they told us, they said, you could defer for a year and essentially have 1 year of doing whatever you want and not have much of any penalty, if anything. The only penalty I'd have is when I go back to college, my friends will all be sophomores, I'll be a freshman. I either have to catch up or, take a couple classes over the summer, things like that. I already have a lot of AP credits, so I'm pretty well off on that end. My freshman year would have been pretty easy anyway, so it's going to be pretty easy to double up if I decide to go back next year. So that's kind of what I've been, experiencing. And to me, when I decided that back in around May, that was kind of what I thought of, as, say, the end of it. I was like, well, I'm not going to college this year. That'll be the end of it. It'll be just like normal. It'll be all cool. It's not that simple. For one thing, things have been different because I don't have school to look forward to. Not look forward to, but almost like, I guess, dread, but in a sense look forward to. In September, it basically just does not change. I still do YouTube full time. I still have really no commitments besides my job and besides having fun with you guys, which is why I've been taking up live streaming so much, because I know I'm going to have the time even come September when people are in school. I'll be able to do this well into, the fall and the winter and beyond even. So that was one of my kind of things that I noticed that I wasn't really expecting by this decision. The other thing that I noticed was I'm not going to say I was left out almost, but I almost felt like I was on the outside looking in the sense that even though all my friends and I are super close, we're all really, we love each other, it's awesome, it feels like they're going through something completely foreign to me. They're all going through college orientation. This week, they're all moving into college, and I'm just sitting here, watching all my friends go off to college and having nothing, to do, being kind of like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just gonna, clean up my office for a little bit, and that'll be my move in pretty much. But honestly, it's been an interesting experience. Would I change my mind as of now if I could go back and accept one of the acceptances this year? I don't think I would. I think I made the right decision for me, and that's just based on my opinion that college will always be there. I'll always be able to have that experience, but I might not always be able to have that experience that I'm having right now, living the dream with you guys. I mean, I gotta be honest, this is one of the most fun jobs in the world. I think YouTube is ranked as like one of the top 5 most coveted jobs in 2014. I'm blessed to be able to do this as a job. That being said, if I were to just put it on the back burner for a little bit, do a couple years in college and come back to it when I had time, I'm going to have commitments like college loan debts. I'm going to have, I'm going to need my own health care. I'm very lucky that I have my parents and they're willing to let me, have this office or whatever until I decide that I want to, go somewhere else. That's awesome. That's really epic. And it makes it that much more possible for me to just say, you know what? I'm going to do this for me because I'm always going to have this experience to look back on. And no matter what happens, if I die off on YouTube and I become irrelevant as Fred in the next 6 months, at least I'll have had these 5 years of an unbelievably crazy ride. And I know for a fact that this has affected my life probably in the biggest way possible. I think this is probably the single biggest factor, me starting YouTube, that has affected my life in any way. So that's kind of, something that I always have to look back on, and it's something I'm always very thankful for from you guys, too. So, I don't know. That's just my spiel. It's been interesting having my friends move away and, and kind of have to say, well, make sure, come back for Thanksgiving break and things like that, and I, working my schedule basically around whenever they're going to be back from college. But overall, I'm happy with my decision. I think I've made the right call for me, and people are going to judge me. People are going to say, you loser, you didn't even go to college. But you know what I say? I'm having fun. I'm happy. My life is awesome. That's really all anyone can ever hope for, right? I don't know. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd throw this story time up because you guys have been asking for more story times with Barbie. I'd be happy to do, maybe a longer video where I really talk about this or answer any questions you guys have. It's a topic that I like to talk about, but I sometimes feel like I kind of gloss over because it does mean a lot to me, and sometimes fitting it into a 10-minute video just doesn't work out the way I want it. So, if you guys have any questions, want a part 2 or whatever, let me know in the comments section below, and I will definitely take that into account and maybe even just answer some of them with replies, maybe make a separate video if we need to. Who knows? We'll figure it out from there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I'm leaving for Seattle tomorrow. I'm going to be going out there to visit the BAM crew for PAX Prime, and it should be pretty fun. I will have a laptop, so I will be making videos out there as well. But until next time, guys, my name's Barbarian. Peace out.